Hey YouTube land, this is Dantes, and today I'm gonna talk about my top 10 Final Fantasy games of all time. Yeah, after finishing Final Fantasy 13, I thought it was a good time to make this, top 10 games. Of course, this is my opinion. Every Final Fantasy fan will have a different order of Final Fantasy games. So let's start with number 10, Final Fantasy 10 of all time. Yeah. Number 10 is where it all started, Final Fantasy 1. Basically, the story was simple. It's the four heroes of light trying to save the world against Garland. But still, at the time, it was a pretty cool game. I have to say that it revolutionized RPGs, or maybe Dragon Quest did, but this is where it started. For me, I played the game afterwards, after finishing the Super NES game, so it was pretty good, so I have to say thumbs up to the game. Okay, number 9 is Final Fantasy 9. Excuse me, 5. Final Fantasy 5 was pretty cool. The story of Bart, his chocobo, riding and finding a meteor. Yeah, and then some aliens, whatever. This game was pretty hard, I must say. So if you beat this game, you get my respect. Final boss, remember to save those coins. So if whoever beats the game will understand what I'm saying. Okay, number 8, Final Fantasy 12. This game was for me more a miss than a hit. The storyline for me was forgettable. Till to this day, I only beat the game one time, and I don't remember much of the story, but whatever. Main characters, they're okay. My favorite characters from all, I have to say, Ben looks pretty gay, but whatever. I forgot the name of the pirate, but basically the pirate was my favorite character in the game. But still, the gameplay was pretty good, and it did improve some things. It was a wide open game. I guess when getting to point A to point B was a long walk. Sometimes you forget about the story, so whatever. Okay, number 7 Final Fantasy game of all time is Final Fantasy 8. This game, I think, is one of those games that divide the Final Fantasy crowd. It has some good stuff and some bad stuff. First, for the good stuff, I like the gameplay in this game. The draw system I like, and using magic to increase your stats. That was pretty cool. Cons for me, the story was okay. Some parts I like in the story, some parts I didn't. Favorite moment, I guess the same when Squall went into the space and saved Rinoa, right? But it kind of felt like Beverly Hills 90210 Final Fantasy, you know. So, but still, pretty good Final Fantasy game. It's good, pretty good game, I have to say. What can I say? So, if you haven't played it, take your time, play it. Next game, number 6, is Final Fantasy 4. Final Fantasy 4. This is where Squaresoft started to get a bit melodramatic. Final Fantasy 4, like Cecil, being a dark knight and then turning into a paladin, white knight. This is pretty cool game. Some spoilers, brothers attacking the world, blah blah blah. So basically, I think it was pretty cool. This is where Square started to put more emphasis in storytelling. So I think this is a great game. If you haven't played it, play it. Any Final Fantasy fan at least should play this game or start with this game. Okay, number 5 is Final Fantasy 13. Yep, the newest Final Fantasy. I put it at number 5. That's a pretty good. For me, fast battle system, pretty enjoyable. Fast paced. You have to think a lot, so it was pretty strategic for me. You have to be quick thinker. You open the window, get the cure, whatever you need. You open the window, get the commandos. You open the window, get the Ravengers to fight for you. So I still feel like the battle system was pretty good. Story-wise, pretty good storytelling. I like the character development in this game, but as my past video of reviewing this game, I think that Squaresoft didn't emphasize much of the story in the world. So you were saving a world, but I didn't care about the world. So that's, I think, that the only drawback that hurts the storyline. So, but still, pretty good entry in Final Fantasy. I think Final Fantasy 13 should get higher praise that they're getting right now from the reviewers. But everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Let's continue with this countdown. Number 4 is Final Fantasy IX. Yeah, I know what you're gonna tell me. Why you like so much this game? Or why so lower on the countdown? This game is so cliche. So, who gives a shit if it's cliche? That's what I like about this game. This game is cliche as hell, but it's fun. Good storyline. I like all the characters in the game. That there was any characters that I didn't like. So, I think Final Fantasy IX deserves to be there, in the as high as I'm putting it. Memorable characters, Vivi and Zidane, or Zidane, or how you ever pronounce it. But you know, great game. Go get it, play it. I think Squaresoft did their best job during the PS1 era of Final Fantasy gaming. So what can I say? That's my opinion. Okay, number 3. Yep, Final Fantasy VI. Here we go. This is where the whole debate is gonna start, because I know there's a lot of Final Fantasy fans out there who will say Final Fantasy VI is number 1. And I have to admit that they're probably right. You know, everybody's entitled to their opinion. But for me, Final Fantasy VI was a great game, but I like the other two more. The other top two Final Fantasy games that I'm gonna put on the list. Memorable moments, story-wise, you know, Kefka, you know, the clown from hell. He was the main star there. Spoilers ahead, when he destroyed the world and you have to pick up all your characters, that was a pretty cool idea from Squaresoft. At the time, that was pretty revolutionary from Squaresoft. So kudos for Square for making a great game. And I think this is where it all started, the whole, hey, kicking the empires in the ass. So, you know. So for me, Final Fantasy VI, kudos. Pretty great game. Maybe one of the greatest Final Fantasy of all time. Again, just depends on your opinion. Okay, number 2, Final Fantasy X. Yep, I really like this game, from the spear grid to the battle system, being able to use all the characters basically in the battle. That was a pretty cool idea. And whatever time you need in the battle, you could switch characters. So I love the battle system in Final Fantasy X. Storyline, what can I say? One of my favorite stories in the whole Final Fantasy universe. I think it was pretty cool. I saw the people suffering from Sing attacking the world. I felt it. I felt their mission to try to save the world, or save the people, the suffering and the suffering in the game. I think the love story, this is where Squaresoft or Square Enix got it right, compared to Final 8, that they promised a great story, love story. No, in this game they got it right, and I think this Final Fantasy X has the best ending of all the Final Fantasy games. So, for me, number 2, Final Fantasy X, and the number 1 Final Fantasy game of all time is Final Fantasy VII. Yep, I know what you're gonna say. Oh, you're picking number 1, the most overrated Final Fantasy game of all time. Who cares? It's my favorite. I love this game. I love all the characters in this game. I love how they mix the. It almost felt like the avatar of Final Fantasy. The message that it brings of saving the planet. So, you know, for me, Final Fantasy VII is a great game. Any Final Fantasy fan can name every character in Final Fantasy VII. That's how much it impacted the series. From Sephiroth, to Cloud, to Tifa, to Barret. You know, every character was memorable. Every character has his shiny moment in this game. And the storyline was, I think, this is where Square stepped into a whole another level. So for me, Final Fantasy VII deserves the number 1 place. So, here you go. Comment. Whatever you feel, be your response. Tell me your list. Tell me what's your favorite Final Fantasy game of all time. This is Dantes, signing out. Take care, my friends. Go Metal. Yeah.